I didn't come from an abusive, unloving, or harmful household. My mother is a single parent who's independent, loving, caring, and supportive, who always taught me to do right and to do the right thing. But she couldn't protect me from my neighborhood. Like most of us living and growing up in bad areas, I was a good kid. I went to school, I made good grades, I came home, and I did my homework until I started to get bullied. What's the big deal, right? Every kid gets picked on and bullied. Well, the big deal is that the bullying had escalated from me being picked on, pushed, and hit to at only 8 years old having a gun put to my head while I was playing Nintendo. Then the bully pulled the trigger. Yeah, luckily, the gun wasn't loaded. But loaded or not, that damage was already done. Instead of a night of having fun, hanging out with the older kids, that turned out to be my night of horror. That night, I made a solemn choice that I could either cultivate a ruthless reputation to protect me and my mother from all those who were threats, or I could do nothing and take my chances of us being shot or killed. Little did I know, that choice that I made would cause for my family to live with the cost, and it would be me who paid the price. And it wasn't until much later on I realized I made that choice out of fear. Soon, I was into and doing some of everything. Man, I was hustling. I was selling drugs. I was stealing. I was toting guns, drinking, doing drugs, and even having sex before the age of 13. As time went on, and I got deeper into the lifestyle of crime, gang banging, and violence, yeah, won't nobody messing with me. Yeah, no one bullied me, because I had a rep now. But it caused me to get kicked out of normal schools. I got arrested and locked up in and out of the Crater Juvenile Detention Center. And before I knew it, at just the age of 17, I was being tried as an adult and sentenced to 50 years in prison for second-degree murder and breaking and entering. That's half of a century in prison. After sentencing, I became very distant and isolated. I was barely talking. I was pushing people away. I won't call them home. I shut down and cut off the outside world. I was catching numerous infractions, rebelling against the rules, and at just my 4th year of my incarceration, I found myself in Red Onion State Prison, a super maximum facility. I ain't care. Why would I? I was a juvenile sentenced to serve the rest of my life in prison. After serving a couple of years in the hole, also known as segregation, I made it out. During my 1-hour park recreation, I called my mother. And of course, there's always a moment of happiness to hear her voice in a place like this. She said to me, "Look, I know that you're in a bad situation, but take that bad situation while you're in there and make something positive out of it." And that's when my 180-degree turnaround began. I knew that I had to tear down and destroy what I had become accustomed to and rebuild myself. I had a temper problem. I knew that if I stood any chance at anything, I had to learn how to contain and deal with my anger. So I enrolled myself in the anger management, and I completed it April 16th of 2010. I had a habit of doing drugs, coke, weed, and drinking. So I enrolled myself in the substance abuse, and I completed it June 30th of 2011. If I got out, I didn't want to go back to the person I was before. So I enrolled myself into Thinking for a Change. Done, completed, February 26, of 2013. If I got out and was stressed out because I couldn't find, lost, or got laid off of a job, I didn't want to go backwards. So I enrolled myself into Coping with Stress. Done, completed, September 12th of 2016. Fully committed to change. I needed to identify my triggers and how to maneuver around them. So I enrolled myself in the Earls in Critical Thinking. Done, completed, May 17th of 2017. But programs weren't enough. I also needed to learn skills. So I enrolled myself in a universal precautions training for bloodborne pathogens. Done, completed, February 6th of 2020. If I make parole and go home, I want to get involved with at-risk youth living and growing up in bad areas like I did. I want to help teach the kids, teenagers, and young adults to deny, disengage, and to not give in to negative peer pressure, and to let them know that it's all right to do the right thing. I also want to get involved with city and town hall meetings to see what it is that I can do to solve a situation before matters escalate. You know, just because a person has committed a crime, it doesn't mean that that person is evil. I made my choices out of fear. It was wolves or rabbits in my neighborhood, and rabbits got eaten. That's why I chose to become a wolf. I just want to help other kids not to make the same mistakes that I did. Thank you.